Brothers was good.
Chilling, man. New scenery.
Right? New scenery. New week.
Yeah.
Get you over here.
Gotcha.
Gonna play my game after the fuck.
Exactly. Got the Django board on deck.
But they got these everywhere. And like if you go out to the club, the bars now.
Bro, that, like, I think they got a big ass one at some bar and everything. Actually, at Top Off, they got a huge one last time. Yeah. So this, I ain't know about they had this one.
What's going on, y'all? Go man. How's y'all's week?
No, I just got back from Dallas work, customer meeting.
That boy, yeah, he a whole golfing now. They just don't
I'm trying to be a golfer. That's actually one of the hardest, like, thing I've ever done. For me, like, to be an athlete, I'm like, I go out there and hit it. And then my first hole was to get to the second hole, it was like over this river.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm with a bunch of other customers. Let me just get this ball from point A to the second hole, which it ended up in the woods, but don't really talk about that.
Man, for me, anytime, like, I was doing, like, especially, like, I would, let's say, for example, Top Off.
Yeah.
I would always hit the ball, but always go all the way to right.
Right.
It would never be centered. So it's like it's a whole practice thing. You have to like adjust yourself and then adjust like when you're hitting it, because at the immediate time when you're hitting it, I know with myself I will slightly move and then it'll make it go right. So I have to just be centered, and I will always get it centered.
Like in your hand, if you're, what is it? Well, I'm left-handed, so whenever you're dominant, you have to have your hands locked like this.
Yeah.
So when you have your hands like, I just didn't know how to like, they like don't use your arm, your strength. You like use your hips and your back, trying to understand why Tiger Woods' back went out. I'm like, the rotation keeps.
Rotation, and I mean, golf's a true sport of finesse and body control. Like for me, you know, man, I'm strong, man. Golf ain't nothing.
Yeah.
You're big, round, you can't move, you can't control your body with it too well. So I mean, golf's a different type of athleticism. You know,
It's got flexibility in that.
most definitely.
It's definitely different for me, but I'm gonna be back.
That's it. I mean, for me, just working on the business. I go back to my other job tomorrow, officially. So just it's gonna get less busy, get more busy, but you know, we got to the photo shoot last weekend, you know, and just getting everything finalized on the website out. So hopefully we get through this first launch and sell out the rest of what we got left, and we just keep on leveling up and
Sell out this year.
What's your hard thing website? I was wondering.
So I had actually created a drafted one. It's more so about the logistics for me, like understanding, okay, how are you gonna funnel, what are you gonna funnel, those type of things where it's like, it might be more beneficial than what I am doing to hire someone to do it, someone I knew, and then that's also a way of networking too. It's like, hey, I know a guy who does websites, I know a guy who has a clothing brand, I know a guy who does that, but making website, especially like if you want to make one simple, it's not, but then to get everything else that you might want, you have to pay more stuff for, so it's better just to, hey, go ahead and take care of this, and then that's one less task that you have to take care of. Right? It's not terribly difficult, it's just another arduous thing, you know, owning stuff, but got all the pictures, got all the reels done, been getting this content in, and people have been surprisingly supportive, man, you know, in the gym, not in public, of just trying to break us out, you know, so we just doing that and staying locked in. So not by this year, we'll speak into this show.
This year, so gonna sell out. The second launch gonna come through next year.
Starting to see more and more people repost it, so that's the start. When you can just go on social media and I'm starting, even though I'm following a lot of them, but like just the word of mouth, it goes back to like marketing, it's like that probably is the best way to like promote all day on Instagram. But it's like if you got people helping you reposting it, you got a nice little product. Like I told you, I'm not the biggest into fragrance, but like I like to smell good, and that's definitely for me one of the best scents I've smelled. So
Yeah, well, definitely just gotta keep on going. I mean, you've been big on it, just keep on posting, just keep on getting the word out. You know, as hard as I've been, but I mean, going into the gym, people are like, hey man, I see your work now, I see you posting, that's good, that's what you need to be doing, man, just keep going. So just keep on taking it day by day. I mean, it gets easier, it gets better, you're more natural at it. And it's all about, you know, achieving your goals. And Catch y'all back with that episode. We're inside, let's get it. Sound tired.
I know you gotta wake up.
Bro, no, it's honestly because it's hot as hell, man. It's because like they told me as well, the AC and everything is a little fucked up in here. So you see right there, I put on 69, it's 82 right now. So that's why.
It goes down.
So as soon as it's
It's just different.
hopeless at one point, and they have an opportunity to make you go harder, make you get in that booth and just really express that hopelessness. Like, man, y'all don't understand. This is like, you know what I mean? You dig from a different place. That bottom of your soul, that pit, homie, where you felt like the shit was, you know what I'm saying? You always wanted, but it looked like it was just not gonna happen.
Shit, in your mind it ain't gon' happen, shit, it probably won't. I took some risks, some people probably won't. That's how we're grateful for the fruits of all my labor. Hard to live and know you sick, I'd rather be with my creator, think the time's up.
Welcome back to another episode of Four Insight Podcast. This is your host, Mike Opie.
It's your boy London Overture, so
My man. It's good.
what's up, y'all? It's Trey here in this thing. How y'all doing?
Y'all surviving this Texas heat?
I'm used to it, but like, it's just like too OD. Cause like, when I went to Dallas, it was hot, it was 100 degrees, but you can just feel like it's just miserable compared to Dallas and Houston.
You serious?
The humidity is just like, it's ridiculous. I'm like, why is this so mean?
I haven't been to Dallas in a minute. I don't know how it is in Austin either. I haven't moved around like that, so.
It's probably cool, but I just can't.
I can tell.
It's too much.
Man, I've lived in Houston forever, and I always tell people it's not something you get used to. Like, you just learn to live with it. I mean, we out coaching again, and so we have these summer camps where we're outside. And last week was a down week compared to how hot it's been, but it's still one of the things you gotta make sure you stay hydrated, stay replenished. That heat just leans on you to where when you get back to the house, you don't want to do anything. You just like
Just drained.
It's like, yo,
I was gonna ask you, you play football, so it's like you get to kind of move when you're a football player. You kind of forget the heat maybe I didn't play football, but when you're a coach, you're just sitting there and the sun is just directing right on you. So it's like, is it hotter when you're a player because they're gonna say, well, I do have a pass, or is it hotter when you're a coach just sitting there just being?
shit. That's a great question. For me, it was hotter, definitely hotter being a player. Now you're sweating, so your body is naturally trying to cool itself off, but you got all that equipment on, and you just gotta make sure you take your water break. There were certain days where it's like, man, I'm not trying to deal with this shit at all. And like being a coach now, it's hot and you can feel it, but you don't have anything what's going on. And then it's like you kind of look at it like, bro, you must have been insane to do this shit for all these
One of
years.
those years, I
You know what I'm
can't
saying?
stand
Like,
playing high school, college, in Texas, and
Yeah.
I remember, no, my bad, but I remember playing middle school and high school football, and I think this is what it became the point for me now to where I don't drink water, I don't need water, is because of football. It's like, yeah, it's like my body like adapted to it. It's like, oh yeah, you don't need water for a long amount of time. It's like you're so used to burning off so much heat and burning off so much sweat and
Do
everything
you
like
think
that.
it's mental? And I don't want to say like, because there's actually been people who dropped down and just passed away from it, from eating football. But do you think a mental game kind of goes into it? Like, your body could be, okay, I do that in the gym. I'm like, I could let the heat beat me in gym too, but if I keep dwelling on how hot it is, it's gonna make me be like, okay, let me finish the workout even more.
I say-
And then instead of just locking in and go hard, and you might be a little wheezy, but just make sure you have your water on go. Is it?
I say it's definitely mental.
You think so?
Because like I don't know how, but well, actually it's a little bit different. Well, actually, no, I still keep the same. I won't drink water until after I'm done with my workout, unless I'm doing like intense cardio type movement, maybe. But even then, I'm like, no water, because I don't want that to go into my system, and then it might end up slowing me down, because I feel like a little water bubble in my stomach. I'm like, okay, I should have drunk my water. I should just like, just hammer it through and just let it go through.
I think it's different for every person, but I do think it's still a mental thing where it's like if you take care of the preventative side, you gotta know your body. Right? There are certain people who need to rehydrate and need to stay replenished because they lose electrolytes, whatever the case. Everybody trains differently as well. So it's like, you know you're the type of person to lose, electrolytes, you lose salt, you need to replenish that because you're taking on endurance or whatever, and make sure you do those things. But then it's a matter of mind, matter. Like, hey, yeah, it's high. I think getting started is most of that. Like, once I get started, you'll be like, hey, I'm already sweating, so let me go ahead and lock in and get through what we gotta get through and then keep on moving. So that's what I said.
And don't let anybody talk you down from your workout.
That's it.
Because that will easily happen.
But like, for me, like, I like working out in the heat, like, especially like last summer, I'm like, man, it's hot, good, I wanna get sweaty, and I feel better once you're done. Like when it was cold, during the winter, like, that stuff I hate because I can never get the sweat on.
It's hard to me. I just naturally lean out by working out in the gym too. Because it's like you just sweat, and then when the winter comes, it's like you gotta really lock in and get that sweat. When I sweat easily anyways, but having that heat, you just sit out there and do it.
Yeah, you just sit there like, damn, I'm already sweating like I'm seeing the walk, like the sweat drip from my armpit, like, oh dang, so easy now, let's get this.
I've been going at 5 p.m. and stuff.
So getting back in that evening time stuff.
Yeah, I kind of have, bro, and I've been going straight, and like y'all see, I was like, oh no, I see gym 2, I'm like, I'm going straight to gym 3. I'm like, y'all catch me at gym 3. I'll be there for an hour.
So it's kind of a whole thing of just knocking something off the task list one. And then, like, honestly, every day I'm waking up and I'm like, I want to go. I'm like, I'd rather go now and be tired and get it done, have to wait and take all day and then have to go and eat. Like, shit.
That's really what it is for me. Like when I did it in the morning, I was like, that gives us more time to pour into our craft.
Yep.
So it's like a lot of people that work in corporate America or teaching, like doing things like that, it hinders us, our careers, I think, because a lot of people in corporate America and teaching don't really work out.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like to explain to them, okay, well, I leave the office 4 to 4:30. So like a lot of my coworkers might say 5:30, maybe 6. I'm like, okay, that gives me the time to maybe I can stay an extra hour and a half like on the morning instead of just saying I gotta leave at 4 because you gotta be traffic. You gotta go change. By the time I leave from the gym, now it's 5:36. I don't leave the gym till 8:39. Go cook, sleep. I'm like, I don't really have no.
It's late. Like, it's like,
You ain't had no time to wait it.
Do nothing. But wine is just like your mental gonna drain out real quick. So it's like, get up now. Don't want to do it, but at least you get your mentality and your capacity to kind of think straight if you're doing it.
And driving in the morning too, like, and for me, there's nobody on the road, it's traffic, it's dark. Like, you just have your thoughts to yourself. And I have a whole lot that goes into the ground, just able to clear mindlessly. And then it helps you think clear too, because then I'll be able to get that out there and drive. I'll be able to work out, get some blood flow, and then all of a sudden, after the workout, I can get another clear drive back to the house, and then I can get ready for work and be in a better mood for the rest of the day. But this week's episode is going to address a matter that I've seen starting to pop up, and I guess it's kind of indicative of what support society a lot of people are starting to lean in towards. But bottom line, if you look at how the world works, our country works, even in professional sports, you're starting to see this kind of play out this way. How would y'all assess and classify how American society is ran at this moment?
That's a loaded question.
Exactly.
Actually,
So asking everything, I gotta really think about this in a second.
So the question was, how would you assess and classify how American society is at this moment? More importantly, I think what I hear being the talk of is, we're evolving to a culture of the haves and the have-nots. Right? If you look at politics, it's about there's no more middle class, you're either rich or you broke, there's no in between. Do you think we're evolving to that? Yes or no? Let me ask you that.
No, so I still think middle class exists. But I think when you look at certain things, because you gotta bring media involved, like now even news, like CNN and Fox, they have a social media platform where it's like everybody can see what everybody's doing. Like I said it, I forgot what episode I said it. I said to see a celebrity or see a person that was rich with a high status used to be kind of hard to see. But now we live in a society where somebody knows somebody who got some type of clout or some money. So it's like we see what rich is, and we're kind of saying like middle class is gone, so you either got it or you don't. But I think some people, that's what I said, it's a voting question, it's hard.
I say pretty much no. Like, because I say in the fact of like, because even middle class people will be looking rich.
Yeah.
A lot of times they'll make themselves look rich.
Yeah.
But that's what they portray on their social media every day versus what it actually is. They won't ever really portray that, oh, they are broken and everything. They're going to actually try to floss themselves out there and see like, oh yeah, no, I got money even though they don't got money. And then next you know, like you actually really talk to them like, damn bro, you actually don't have that money. I said, yeah, I ain't got it this time. I'm like, well, why don't you flex it like you actually did it? Like you're on, like to stick to the middle ground of being like, you're not the average American, because like honestly you're the above average American. You're not rich, but you're not poor at the same time either. So you're just keeping that nice little middle ground, but you can get to the rich part. But if you try to act like you're rich, then you're gonna end up poor.
I think middle class is only what 45 to 50,000, 40,000. So 45 to they say 65,000 is like middle class income for like one person, right? And then you go like middle class, that's where you get to your 70 to 90. I mean, all relative numbers, and then high income earners, anybody makes 100%. You know what I'm saying? That top 10%. I mean, I think for me, where I stand on it is, middle class still exists. Is it harder? There are things that make it a little bit more difficult, especially if someone doesn't understand the difference between wants and needs. I think people can still get their needs met. It's a little bit more expensive to do it. Like people talk about, I hear, groceries are more expensive and things of that nature. I'm like, look, I'm the type of person, I really, especially since this past year, we're trying to cut weight and everything, I'm really become a healthy nut. I only buy healthy food. And healthy food is more expensive to buy than the stuff that, is cheap, your ramen noodles and things of that nature. But what I realize is that you're gonna pay for it one way or another. You're either gonna pay for it with the grocery bill, but your body's gonna be able to function and to be able to run and, be able to have energy. Or you can decide to save money that way, but then you're buying food that has no nutritional value, and then you're gonna start paying with health elements and things of that nature. So,
the thing that suffered for us as, us as Black African Americans way back then, our parents, how we see most of our parents now, how they're like big and not looking healthy wise based off of that, because at the same time they didn't think about the health.
Yeah.
And the aspect that we think about now.
And it's an advantage for me now, like both my parents are, they're still active and healthy people, and my dad's, in his 60s, going to 70s, but if you look at him, and this guy is really healthy, really active, really mobile, and it's because he takes himself seriously, eating fruits, vegetables, he doesn't eat a whole lot, so like a lot of that blueprint, like now I'm starting to get, because, I think when we were young, everybody thinks they're messing, man, later, I can get away with eating this stuff, and I was like, nah, man, you gotta start taking your health seriously. Now, I always talk to OGs in the gym, like, when they look good, I'm like, it's about fighting off, I'm fighting for longevity, I'm trying to fight off the age, you know what I'm saying? Because the more we take care of it now, the longer we're going to have model and tank. You look at LeBron who invests $2 million in his body, I'm like, that's not something that's like, oh my gosh, why would you invest? It's like, no, that's what it's got to be to keep that longevity. You don't play 21 years in the league and still be at his perfection.
Did y'all know that, if y'all eat things with seeds inside of it, it's actually more healthier than you eat things without seeds inside of it, like the fruit and vegetables.
So if you have seeds, it's better?
Yes. It's I recently found out I'm ignorant to these things, but seedless watermelons are of course hydrogenized and chemical wise made fruit. It's something that they spray a lot of chemicals on the foot, and they say that all you gotta do is rinse it off, you'll be fine. That no, it's not actually fine. Because the chemicals are still sticking onto the fruit, sticking onto the anything else you eat. So you eat seeded stuff like seeded watermelon, and even eat the seeds themselves. The seeds are great for you as well too. Funny enough, they have a lot of iron and zinc and magnesium and stuff in it. as well. And it's very nutritional value like that. So like seeded grapes, seeded watermelon, seeded like I think they even have seeded blueberries. So stuff like that, all the stuff that has seeds in it are very helpful and beneficial to your body. But a lot of what's happening now in society, and especially in the food production they're doing, they're making it seem like all seeds are bad for you. They're taking it out for you, like, oh, this is what's actually good for you. Now you get the straight good nutrition. No, the seeds is what's helping you actually.
What woke me up, honestly, it woke me up before I seen it. But to know Obi said he felt invincible. And me and Obi we can carry our weight differently than a lot of people.
Right.
Like with the Bronny thing that happened, I was like, he's only 18. I don't know what it's from. Some people were saying it's from the coronavirus shot. Some people just said it's free vaccine, whatever. But for me, y'all know I eat like a horse, so it's like I be eating a whole tub of bluebell with like 4 crumble cookies or a whole kind of pie.
Wow.
Like both of my side of my family got diabetes. Like we just really just go.
Yep.
So I'm like trying to tell myself, chill, L. Like, cause you being 26, about to be 27. It's like, don't do it. Like, get this, like hang all this together before you get 30. Because like, you have a kid dropping at 18, 19 from heart attacks or cardiac arrest. You want to just go out the park or turn like it, but like. That's what it is. So
Nah, I mean, to be like you just said, like, Elle and I both carry a way different. We're big guys, and so naturally people look at us and like, oh, y'all are big, y'all are swole, y'all are bulky, whatever the case may be. I'm like, yeah, but y'all don't always feel good. It's better than feel heavy. And so, like, for me, I had my health snapped in front of me, like, March 19th. It's like, I remember I was under stress and whatever job, and so then I went to the doctor, and I was doing blood pressure stuff. I'm like, man, blood pressure, but you gotta stop. Like I was 290, and it was like, hey, you don't stop, or if you don't get this shit under control, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. So then that was that wake up moment, like that we all need, where it's like, all right, then it was like, I don't care, like, and it's tough with certain jobs where it's like they flash the food in front of you, you have a stressful day, and all of a sudden, hey yo, I know you have stressful day, here you go this cake, man, here you go this cookies.
Or this Chick-fil-A that we got me on the morning time.
Chick-fil-A and
I
stuff.
walk by that 12 times and like, don't do it. And I'm like, do it. And I walk back, like, don't do it. And I'm like, it shouldn't be as hard for me to say no.
But society ingrained us that way at the same time. It's been, that seed has been planted in us to just accept it. And it's like, but sugar is the number one thing that kills us, and everything that's been processed has so much sugar.
That addictive process. And like sugar was my thing. Like I was a person who used to love eating candy and stuff. I cut it all out. I take it out of my fridge. I like looking on fruit, nuts, eggs, vegetables, and rinse and repeat. So we down 32 pounds now, and trying to get down even further. So it goes to like, hey, I was lucky to get that snapshot and wake up on the bed. If you don't stop, like it's gonna get bad. And I think I see like a lot of people really into high chips and all that other stuff now. I'm like, yo, man, this ain't good. They're also not active. Like a lot of these post-COVID children, it's like they ain't never been out. They don't go outside. They're not gonna go outside, so they stay inside. And just, they don't want to get active. Like I remember I tried to get my athletes to make eat cookies that I had. Bananas, nuts, seeds, protein.
They're cookies.
Yeah, they're cookies.
They're cookies.
Yeah, I like it.
I like when you describe it, it's similar to the way I made like banana waffles one time. It sounds just like that because sorry, but basically banana, oatmeal, like the oatmeal, like the one that you just get from the store and all that stuff. Not the one that's brown sugar and all that stuff in there, but like straight oatmeal. Yeah. And then an egg, and that's it. Blend that up. You make banana waffles, banana pancakes, but that's the healthiest like breakfast you can ever make.
Yeah, man, because it was one of those things like I was trending in the right direction and like everything, my marketing was getting better, or they're really down, and then it was like that love, that sweet tooth was like, man,
Yep. Got hit hard.
Right, so then I'm like, man, I got BJ's right next to me, I can easily shoot over, or I can go to H&B and go pick up something. I'm like,
That's your little league point right now, BJ's. I'm trying to even like because you've been saying it the last 3 weeks. I'm like, same pursuit. Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna go get 3 of them, and now I'm just gonna kill it. But I have Crumble as mine. Like,
I got Crumble next to me now. See, like where I used to live, it was in a drive to, man, I gotta go all the way out to Bend, I had to go all the way out to Wright Avenue, New York, and now it's just literally right next to me, but I'm like, man, I know what that's gonna do if I eat that. Like, and I think that feeling after, like, man, you feeling heavy or stuck, I'm like, I don't need this, then that's when I was like, man, Google and YouTube have everything. So I was like, what are some healthy cookies, healthy desserts that I can make? And, you know, and so then boom, it was bananas, oats, protein, you can put chocolate chips in them, like low sugar chocolate chips, peanut butter, 15 minutes.
Also, I'd say watch out for the low sugar chocolate chips, because even then, you gotta actually read the nutritional facts on there, it's actually what's made in there. A lot of that, it's even worse than itself.
But I made them, I like them.
get some Krispy Kreme.
I like them.
Not Krispy Kreme, it's some Shipley's, dog.
I made them.
Dry donuts and Krispy
I took them up to practice one day. I made my athletes eat them, and sure enough, because it wasn't regular sugar, they're good, nasty, coach. I'm like, better odds of throwing a whole bunch of sugar and shit.
It's good to get them going early though, because like me, I grew up on honey buns, Twinkies.
Texas, bro.
Texas.
The Texas
Texas cooking them right with like 10, 12 seconds.
Boy.
I used to be getting them at the success stand all the time.
I remember we had like popsicles back up with it, like, cause I was a manager at this, at our school store.
Yeah.
Popsicles, hot chip, Texas buns, and I was like, give me all this, man. I eat this right there. I'm the manager, I don't care. I like this pizza noodles.
Fast food, too, like my first job was Wingstop.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Boy, your first job. Boy, well, I don't know how my first job was a corporate.
Every day.
I'm saying,
Ooh, walk by, get a nutty every time I walk by the tray.
we don't got all that, but not back to the issue though. Like, we're talking about the have and have now, so we all kind of are disagreeing with this whole notion of, you know, that it's not as tough to be a class. But one TikTok I did notice though that I actually wanted to ask her about was, it was a mom, and the mom basically was saying, look, us Gen X millennial parents, we really failed our children, and her sentiment was, you know, we kind of ingrained in our kids, and this is something you talked about last year. Go to school. After you go to school, go try to get a master's. After you get a master's, then look for a good job or a solid job or a job and work a career, get a stipend at the end of your retirement, and that'll be life, right?
Right.
And then she was like, that formula doesn't work anymore. Now, like, rent is spiked. A one bedroom is costing $1,500 depending on where you live. So the cost of being alive just simply is too expensive, or it's very expensive for even a single human being, let alone people who are trying to raise a family. So just on that claim alone, do you think she's right? And there are certain people saying that, old parents failed the new generation. Where do y'all stand on that conversation?
I think she's wrong. I would ask her if that way doesn't work, going through get school. I don't even think you need a master's personally, right? Get experience under your belt for your resume. Once you have experience under your belt and your resume, it shows that one, when you complete college, it's just showing the employer that you can finish something. Two, it's telling you, okay, I've worked in 3 other organizations that you guys are hiring me for. This is what I did here. This is how I achieved it. This is where I can help you guys at. So it's basically a lot of corporate America jobs gets a bad rep because it is hard to get in a big company. But if you get in a big company, those benefits is like you get a base, you get health and dental covered, and they're only pulling out $100 every paycheck maybe, which if you pay for health insurance, you're gonna be paying way more than that if you're not through a company. That's the perks of the benefits. Then you might get bonuses yearly, so you might get an extra $40,000 to $50,000 a year from that bonus, and that might come in lump sum. So to me, I'll ask her, what should you do then? What should the our generation do, like, should they go the route that we're going now? And I think everybody's going that route, which would be the social media route, which is cool. But what I think the misconception is everybody thinks everybody's gonna get rich. So it's like everybody's running to this finish line of richness through social media. And now these platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, is making an algorithm crack down so that all y'all are trying to get through.
Yep.
You can't all get rich, dude. We're not gonna be able to pay
at
all.
all.
So it's like, we're gonna have to cut off some of y'all. I hope the people who think that thought they can get rich, I hope they make it, I hope they get there, but if they don't, you have a plan B to say, cause me, my route was, okay, I wanted to be an influencer, this and this, but let me go, I got my degree, let me go make this, let me keep leveling up base, and now I'm where I'm at now. It's like, now it's like, okay, instead of the influencer route, I'm thinking real estate, land, and parking structures, apartment complex, like this, like, say somebody, okay, yeah, it takes capital to do it, but if you have a 10 or 15 year plan, you can get into, think long term instead of, oh, I need it now, because I think the people who are thinking now, by 15 years, I don't think they're gonna be where they want to be. Not everybody, some people might make it through the cracks and be millionaires and be like, well, this is what I did for me, cool, but I think you should have a 10 or 15 year plan, and if your whole group is on that plan, 20 years down the line, I might come to you guys, we're going to be only, what, 40? 40 something?
I think,
I'm gonna play devil's advocate to your point real quick. I've seen this before too. Let's take the average person, right? And we'll take, let's say, how much money are they making?
75, 80.
75, 80,000. So round it out, let's say that their paycheck every 2 weeks, 2,500, right? Now with that 2,500, that's your base to cover all your bills. Well, what your bills, you got it rent, 1,300, so you already got half of that split, right? Then utilities, so let's say gas, electricity, it's another 100. You know, you buying gas, another 50, maybe once a week. Groceries, 200, right? So you see all these charges. I think that's where people's point of contentment is, that we have all these things that are being made more expensive. So the whole idea of becoming real estate moguls, having that energy, that time, that money to save, is all being spent on trying to survive. I think that's where people are coming from. So to someone who makes that point, what would you say to that?
I would say, yeah, inflation is going up, this is going up, but if you're making $5,000 a month, your rent is what you said, 1,300?
Yeah.
Okay, that takes you down to what?
We made 5,000,
it'll be
3,700.
3,700, you're gonna spend, so you have, I'm gonna even go even more, so you have a car note, $300.
Okay, so now you got
3,400. Then you got your utility, if you're staying in an apartment, you're only gonna spend a month, 500 on those probably.
Now you got 29.
yeah,
Now 29 is for me.
Yeah.
Now for remaining, so I'm at 1,450 and I made 5,000. I was able to pay my rent, I was able to pay my car note, I was able to do that, but I also, I think, I don't know the math, I forgot, but it was like $1,800 to $2,000 that I almost had saved up. So if you do that every month, times that by 12, you should have about 24,000 saved up if you do it consistently. Now, where a lot of people mess up is they don't know about, you can put it in a Roth IRA, you can put it in an index fund, a mutual fund, and then you can just let your money work for itself by what a lot of people that's rich do. They take a percentage of what they actually make and keep cutting it. Like Shaq said, they say, I'll take my money, I'll cut it in half. He said, once I pay off my expenses and I have this remaining, that remaining is supposed to be mine, so I'll cut that in half again. And then he said, if I don't do nothing that month, I'll cut that again. So by that time, you have so much money that you could potentially save. Just because it's there, don't mean you gotta spend it. So that's how I look at it.
I'm starting doing that method as well too.
I'm just big on saving, because like if something happens, like now I'm about to get a house.
Yeah.
Like my apartment, you can put in a request, but it was on a garbage disposal, and then the maintenance guy couldn't fix it, so they had to change their garbage disposal. They had to call the plumber to make. That's gonna cost money. So instead of just looking check to check and you didn't save nothing, well shit, your water can just keep backing up in your thing if you have a house. So you gotta prepare for it.
Yeah.
a rainy day or something like that at a young age.
Straight up, and I think for me, the operative words for me is delayed gratification and like long-term thinking, because, you know, people who live to protect, they don't think about those things, or, you know, it goes to where is your money, what is your lifestyle looking like? Does your lifestyle involve you, every little thing you make, you spend it on? Now, I get it, having family and kids cost money, but as far as whatever you have to factor in, you can't afford to have children right now, right? There are some people who can and can't. If you know, huh?
But they still go through the kids and everything.
Exactly. So you gotta, you gotta factor all of that stuff in, you know, and I think for me, it was like, okay, I had this planned out since I was in high school, like I was like 18 to 22, you know, finish some type of school, some type of undergrad, you gotta get at least a degree, like undergrad, just said you got a paper. From 22 to 26, either gonna go back to school, their master's, if that works out, or, okay, fine, you get the experience to start building a resume, and that experience, you start getting some money, that money you save up a lot of it, you save a rainy day fund, and then you may work to the essence of things, and then, okay, from there, 26 to 30, what's gonna happen, depending on how much you were able to progress from that first 4 years, will determine how the last 4 years. So, some people who say school's gonna be your lifestyle, that's all good, but you gotta stay that course, and you gotta stay that. You can't go on trips, you can't be buying the Louis Vuitton party, you can't be buying all that, if that's not in the cards, I mean, straight up, or.
Unless you have like a family who have money and all this stuff.
For sure. Oh, I mean, that, and I think a lot of people get caught up in trying to keep up with the Joneses, like, look, that's not your path, that's not how things shaped up for me, right? Like, that's just what it is. So I think people get caught up in, why does mine have this, why does Trey have that? It's like, no, okay, this is what I have. At the end of the day, I got my 3 square meals, I got a place to stay, I got water, I got food, I got electricity, I got all that stuff paid for. Is what it ends up breaking down to. And like, the thing for me now is with the business, especially being, I'm trying to give it its legs to get it to walk. A lot of what I make has been factoring in, okay, you make this, okay, then from this, you have this much saved up, okay, you gotta split that, you save that, and then the rest of it, you gotta invest in business, whether that's promotion, whether that's merch, whether that's, okay, you gotta spend it on getting this new product, that new product, you gotta, like, you have to always think about it. So with that, it's like, okay, someone's gotta give, you gotta sacrifice other places, right? You can't get the best cake. You can't go out every weekend like you were trying to do when you were earlier on, and that's the sacrifice, but that's the way. And people, you gotta have like the right people around you, like, that understand, like, hey, not, and why you don't wanna come out and land in the one, it's like, oh, you wanna build something.
I hate when people be like, oh, you too cool to like go out with us. I'm like, one, I don't recover as well as I used to. Two,
I don't wanna recover, like, I don't wanna be able to.
I don't want to be recovering. Two, like, I'm listening to Magic Johnson. He's like, I'm in bed at 7 or 8. Mark, what's his name?
Wahlberg.
He's in bed by 6 or 7, up at 3 or 4.
That's amazing though.
To like you have to wake up. Steve Harvey says, he says, if you're on the West Coast, the stock market opens up first because they're on Eastern time. He says, you're letting that person get ahead of the game. So he said they wake up so the stock market opens up on East Coast time, East Coast at 9:30. He said that means you have to be up by at least 6:30 to get the same benefit that person
At
gets.
7 a.m. it opens up over here. The trading market. So like if you're trading index funds and trading like US dollar and stuff, it opens up at 7 a.m. over here. 6:50 must be exact, right?
You gotta be up, you gotta be ready, so what are you gonna do? You gotta get that nice rest, you gotta be ready, because if not, if you can't function, your whole day's gonna be shot. Your mind's foggy, you can't think, you can't function, you can't move. You're always thinking, man, I could be in bed right now, rather than saying like, going back to, all this is wealth habits, wealth building habits. I made this thing earlier this summer where I was like, the way you create wealth is you invest in your health. Your health isn't just in food. Food is important, it's also your rest, also what you put in your body, what you put in your mind too. Do you have a type of mindset to say, hey, I am going to be successful and I'm going to work, and I just got to make sure I have these things in place, I have these practices in place, or are you going to do the type of say, nope, I can't be successful because somebody else is falling out. I didn't want to work, so it's London's fault, it's Trevor's fault, it's the man's fault.
400 years of that we've been here.
You know what I'm saying? So
I heard from a business guy this weekend, and he has a very successful broker shop that he has going on. And I work with him, but he said to me, he said his employees make more than him right now. He said because he said for the longest, he said for you to make a sustainable business and then to get it off the ground, your owners might not be, if you want somebody to help you build it, you might have to pay the employees more than what you make at the time so they can keep wanting to come back. So he was like, I'm not even, he said, but he has so many other businesses that he's getting his money. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna take a cut here. And he's like, I'm gonna grow this business. I went to their office, they had about 12 salesmen. And I was like, they had about 12 salesmen just going. And now his business is growing. I guess, and then he's doing all of the big deals with all the other corporations, and he's bringing them to us as a supplier, and we're pricing for them. And then, okay, well, we need this percentage for us bringing them to you. Okay, that's fine. You're doing all the legwork, so we give you guys a percentage of what we make from this deal on the retail side, and boom. So it's like that's what I've learned, and I listened like a lot this weekend to a lot of people. I'm like, okay, you gotta really have a lot of revenue streams coming in, which I already did that, but it's like you gotta just jump off and do it. Like he's bringing out cars, he's doing that way. You gotta just
Smart man. I say
be
that.
an entrepreneur. It's like it takes what you're going through, like the stress. It's not gonna ever be easy. Like it's gonna be like
It's like he has more equity. I mean, not equity. He has more. What's the word I'm looking for? The liabilities is there, but it's less liabilities than it is more. Let's say profit. He's having a whole lot more profit than he has liabilities. So it's I think I was right. Equity, liabilities. He has a lot more equity than he has liabilities. So that so his profit, which is like it's not even out, is actually a great amount. It's like his liabilities might be low enough to where it's like, I guess I'm taking a loss on this one, but all these other ones I have, I'm making a whole good amount of profit no matter what.
And that goes to your point, I'm glad at least I found people who've done business before, because like it's not my family. Like nobody in my family has done any business, has owned any business, so I'm the first one. Being the first one, I know I'm gonna make some mistakes along the way. And I hear all the time, man, you sure you want to do this shit? You sure you want to? You sure? Nah, man, have that safety net. Just have that safety net. Say, nah, man, look, tough times won't last, but I will, because I'm tough. I'm built for it. Like, I understand long-term thinking, I understand the mindset, I understand the grind. First and foremost, I'm keeping that stuff out. Like, hey, you gotta create a revenue stream. You gotta work hard. You gotta grind. You gotta do long hours. It's gonna be stressful. It's not gonna be easier.
Fat Joe just said something earlier. He said a lot of people don't want to be in a position of being a business owner. They're comfortable with having a steady income coming in, living a middle class life. They don't want the responsibilities of being an owner to make those decisions. But if you can see the end goal of, I will be a millionaire, the beginning might be hard, and you might have a couple of failed attempts. But if you keep going, eventually, if you keep pouring into what you want, the world's gonna give you what you're trying to see. But it's like, don't give up at the first fail, the second fail, the third fail. Like I think Elon Musk was at his last launch, and if he failed that, he probably wouldn't have Tesla. But he was like, he tried it one more time at that last launch that he sent whatever that rocket to. It worked, and the rest is history. But
Yeah, I mean, you know, Mark Cuban, I think.
It's like shit, that's a lot of launches to go there. I'm like, Jesus, I would have been dead.
Yeah, a lot of money just to keep like launching. Like, I need this to go this way.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I lost money. Let me do it again. I lost money. Let me do it again. I lost money. I probably me knowing who I am. I forget that. Look that time.
Well, all those like at number 5 or 6, I'm like, yo, all right, cousins, bro. All this experiment.
This shit, man. So I got.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I respect business owners.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a wired mind different like that, you can tell on the 6th time it's going. After the first 5 didn't work, you got a crazy mind.
For real. I'm like, I'm done.
And that's why they're the Shaquille O'Neal's. Like, I'm gonna invest into a business that I have ownership in, and if I have the name, at that point, if I have the name, I'm gonna grow that business. So like General, the state, really General, the insurance, like he's partial owner. So now he's like, okay, I'm gonna put my name on it. I'm gonna grow it. I'm gonna get a lot of say on the ownership side now, and I'm gonna deal with a lot of companies now, and that's what we're gonna do.
That's it, man. It's all, you just gotta stay the course, and you gotta grind, you gotta have a long-term thinking, man. Another thing I wanna ask y'all about is, cost of living. And we kind of touched on it a little bit, and you know, we broke it down some, but there's some people who say that, man, the cost of living today is too expensive. And then there are others, you know, we're talking on the wealthier side. There are people who are on the wealthier side who made it, who have the money, have a stable income, or just simply say, hey man, if you want, it's less expensive, you just gotta work harder. So where do y'all stand on that conversation?
I say it's expensive, but I say it's like, you know, it's like you definitely, you got to work hard and work smarter. Like, I say this method, let's say the method of paying your bills and paying rent and everything like that. If you're able to do this method, a lot of complexes and homes and everything, they're able to kind of work with you and do this. So the way you do it is like, okay, so you get 2 checks a month and everything like that. So that one check, a lot of people will pay that for the rent, the bills, and they're like, okay, cool, I'm broke. I ain't got nothing else now. I got this, like, I got to wait to that check that I have to do something else I want to do. Now, the way you actually do it, what you can do is you can pay half your rent with that first check you get, and then half your car note, half your electric bill, half your AT&T bill, whatever, all these things, pay half on everything. And now, what you got? Now you got money actually left over. You got a good amount left over. Let's say you bring in 2,000. Your rent is 13. Now half of 13 is what? Let's say 650. So 650 goes into that one check, and then your car note is, let's say 500. 250 goes into that check right there as well too. And then your electric bill, all the other stuff. Electric bill, probably $100, 50 that, and then phone bill, 70, half of that, that keeps going on. And now let's say at the end, that one check, you have, it was like 2,000, now you pay that, let's say you have a good 1,000 or 900 to 800 to $900 left. Now you got $800, $900 left on that one check. Now you can do better. How was you gonna do? Half of that save that half. Now you got like $400, $300 something left over. Whoever else you want to do. It's easy. It's just that easy. It's just a lot of people are not making a smart decision on what they want to do with their money. They see something they want. It's like, ooh, I got this money left over. I got a whole lot. Let me get this. Oh, actually, I want to get that too. No, be smart about it. These things gonna come. It's just the fact that you have to wait on it. And if you got something that is still, like let's say, you know, like you're running low on rice, like you got maybe like to go, like not a container thing of rice and you have like this amount left. I would say until you completely run out of rice, go buy no more rice. There's no reason, you got enough rice. Now, that's the way you have to look at it. You can't look at it on the fact that I'll need this, I'm about to run out within a week. Got a whole week's worth of rice inside your refrigerator. Eat that until it's done. But a lot of people won't do that.
I think for me, the cost of living is, by statistic, is actually outrageous. Inflation is just ridiculous. If you look at the cost, like I think, let's say you have to make 60 or 65,000 minimum to even live in Houston, Texas.
That's true.
So it's like, yeah, but at the same time, you have to know where you can live too. A lot of people want to live places that they can't afford. And it's like, okay, maybe you bite the bullet here, so I'm gonna live here for 1 year. And then you have to go into a really aggressive saving strategy. And for me, it's like, when I was making the 50s and 60s, I was like, okay, I'm just about to sit here and do nothing. I have the minimum. It's $50 to get a Sam's card for a year, for 12 months, $50 is nothing. So now, that whole rice example, it might cost you $15, but you got literally a 10-pound bag of rice versus paying the same thing at Walmart and then you got maybe a 2 or 3 pound bag. So I just got a 7 pound difference off the same price because of I'm just shopping smarter. But that comes with knowing if you're like my dad and my grandma's big on sales, going to get in the sales paper, seeing what's on sale. Like when I go to Kroger, if I see Colgate or whatever, or Crest or whatever I want to use it's on sale for at Kroger, that was like $1. I think it's like $1 per tube. Okay, well I'm supposed to pay $10 or $15, maybe $20. I'm gonna get 22 business. And the reason why I do that is because okay, if it goes back up to $3, I spent $20, and then if I just paid $3 for one, I'm probably gonna go back in. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but 22 basically literally that takes my expense out for the whole year.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to buy no more 2 bag. At least that expense is gone. So I'm just big on bulk. I'm big on if I go buy chicken, like I saw some not thighs, it was legs or something like 98 cents. And I think it was like 15 and 18 legs for $4. Okay, now if I just spend $15 on just chicken, I got food for the whole month. You can sit there and say, oh, it's boring. Yeah, I don't care right now. I'm trying to be cute right now. I don't have the room to be cute. I can at least live.
Yeah.
And then by the time you did everything right, you might have 900 to 1,000 saved over. And then I'm saying, cut that out, put that 500 up, and do that every month, and then you're gonna keep building you a cushion.
Let's bring the topic everybody loves back into the fold. Dating and relationships. It's so, and this whole money management and finances, how does this play in dating? I have my opinions, but I want to hear from y'all. How does money management, the whole wealth gap, wealth disparity, money management, resources, the fight for resources, how do you think that plays a factor?
If you don't know how to cook, we ain't staying together. Cause I ain't going out like that.
Why do you always like going to this game? She gotta cook, I gotta do
Bro, it's not even that. It's just the fact of like, it's not even that. It's just the fact that I ain't trying to spend all this money and we know how to cook this already. Bro, Jesus Christ. Okay, I can go to an Italian restaurant and see what they made. Bro, I'm eating, I'm tasting, oh, I used that already. Oh, I know that. Yeah. Why the fuck do I need to go to a restaurant and so as to have a good time? Like, oh, that was amazing. Man, that shit was tiring and boring. I did that in the first little few months that we dated and everything. Now I'm done. And you see, and you say that, like you don't take me out no more. Cause there ain't no reason to, bitch, I got you now in the lane.
I watched an episode about this. I don't know what the hell it was on. They said, why do men do this? It was actually Martin. Oh, yeah. I know that episode. What was it? It was Martin was like, Pam was like, Martin, do you know the difference between making love and having sex? He was like, yeah. He said, explain it. He said, all right, Tommy, take it off. And Tommy said he explained it like how love is, like you gotta be into that person, like how you make a connection. But he says, once I get to know you, that's all technically. But I was like, I agree with you, Ed. I think with people like us, we just gotta accept where times are going, and you might not have a woman who will do it. My mom was shocked by it because she was into substitute teaching, and they were so surprised that my mom cooks every day, and my mom was like, y'all don't, and a lot of people don't.
and then my bad. And then at the same time they're like, I had so many females actually, oh, you know how to cook? I'm like, yes, I learned from my mom didn't teach me. I watched her cooking everything. I see her use the spices.
You talking the same talk.
Bro, it's the easiest thing. What's so hard about this? And then you got so many Instagram videos and everything about people like saying, oh, like this and that. You know how easy it is to cook. Get your lazy ass up and start cooking. That ain't that hard. And now it applies to this, and now it does apply to this when we're talking about when it comes to budget and everything. Because it's so easy to get this a few little things that they use to cook in the kitchen at a restaurant, and you get a bulk of that, and you can cook the same goddamn thing, and various manners at the same time.
And I'm glad you said this was clear. I'm not sure. Because it's getting to the point that I think I'm true. And I say sorry too. The best thing I'm learning is just to shut up. Just to shut up. Because if we say these things to a woman, we're nitpicking, we're asking too much. But you have to think of the flip side is they want the same thing out of us in a different aspect. But I just noticed we can't ask certain things. So I think this is what men do die first. Statistically, a man does die first out of a spouse. But I think I would really, from the bottom of my heart, I think it's because we have a lot to pull. And the longer your marriage goes, the longer you realize how to handle a woman. And they are the catch. I will give it that they are the catch. What is the point of doing all this if women didn't exist?
I take it to the museum, I take it to like this little out on the boat little trip, and then after that, I got the draws, I'm done. Now like you want to
still keep doing that today.
I put like for the next like month or two, and after that I might just slowly dive this down and go like on little small things. And then like actually I really at the same time I'll start small, take them out to like little maybe sushi, ramen dates and everything like that.
In my opinion.
So what?
Is that ramen or sushi?
Any day can be nice if you are with someone who is genuinely into you for you and actually likes you.
And have a good conversation.
And not like the experiences that you're giving them. Nah, the experience is y'all's interaction together. That's really what the whole purpose of it all comes down to. It's not, and that's where like, okay, I'll bring it in. My dad, especially now that I'm getting older, he's like, I'm on my own. Every time I go back home, it's like a grandmaster and student, and I'm just sitting there, and he's always trying to give me wisdom. He's like, look, you see all this stuff you're trying to do, you see this business, you see this lifestyle, you see all this. See, this is why I tell you, look at the type of partner you're trying to get. Factor that in. Find someone who's ambitious just like you. Right? Find someone who has a level of empathy.
Find someone who wants to know how to cook. Find someone who wants to learn the actually.
My mom's cook. She's gotta at least put in the effort to learn how to cook if she doesn't already. I'm not saying you gotta cook every single day, but cool. Well then, all right, understand this.
Shit, you gotta go.
It can happen. Okay, question.
All right,
question.
Yeah.
How much would you be okay with your woman cooking for you after a long day you come from work and then you come home and the food is being prepped or almost made? How many times a week do you think she should be able to have to do that?
Once or twice.
A week?
No problem with that.
You're not asking.
No,
You're not asking. For
Because there's leftovers, like, I mean, first of all,
leftovers.
there's leftovers, I'll eat that. That's just like my dad, like, okay, my dad and all the men who I've seen were not the type cook every single day. No, it was like, okay, she cooked, I appreciate that. Like, my wifey cooked, okay, great. Her food tastes amazing, I appreciate that. Okay, because she cooked, hey, you kids, all of y'all, your mom cooked for y'all, so y'all gotta come clean the dishes up. Or if it was just me and my girl, okay, you cook, I clean up. I'm gonna sit there on my phone watching TV. That's the way it balances out. How can I alleviate the burden?
Or can you look up in the kitchen? I got you, don't worry about it.
Hey, you know what? This is something you're making. If I don't know how to make it myself already, all right, now let's do this together. That way we can learn together. We can take pride together. Then if you like it, and we both like it, then I can make it, you can make it, and then we both have the skill. If you're gone, you working hard, all right, cool. I'm off from work, or let's say I have the type of lifestyle where I can be at home, you know, move this up, cool. Now we got it. I can, you can. That's it. It's about working together, not, oh, I gotta leverage cooking against my spouse. Well, you know what? You want sex tonight? You want me to cook? Well, then you're gonna have to go out and do it. Nah, man, that's where a girl has to go. Like, not just on the aspect of cooking alone, but if they're the type, I don't wanna cook because you don't have to box me. I'm not.
That's gonna always be, you're gonna get in an argument with anybody about you're not the boss of me. And I think I think it goes into a emotional standpoint on that side of it, because it's like, if I was sitting here on my butt, not doing nothing, paying no bills, if you give me something to get fixed, I wouldn't go, right?
Yeah.
That's your requirements. So I can have requirements as well, but I think women forget that we can have requirements, because it's like, well, I just gave you, you know what, and I'm giving you that, isn't that enough?
No, your ass ain't just enough, because I can go on Missing and get the same ass just as good. Cause goddamn, bro, like, your ass ain't enough. I can go pay a stripper or something like that $10. I get the same amount. I come home, I'm
Tell
like,
your girl that if you dating, I probably
you said what?
I would say that.
You said what? You said what? Tell my brother?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably say something.
Especially now, like, bro, I'm telling you this. I'm like, bro, no, I can go somewhere else and go give me some nice ass. Your same ass is around somewhere else, probably in my gym. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get broken up with. But I'm like, bro, look, what you want me to do? Sugarcoat and say, no, you're the only one around like this. No, if your mindset ain't good, then no, you're
Y'all
hell
talk too
of a
much,
waste.
y'all stress yourself out too much. They know I'm talking to me like, and I'm not gonna raise my voice too much. I'm not gonna raise my blood pressure. I'm not gonna spike none of this. I already know me.
You know what's crazy? One time I told ex-mom, you sound like a man. You sound like almost like me. And she ran in the room and cried. Sorry, not sorry, but it was true. After that,
I'm
it didn't really come up too much.
So I struggle with that. I struggle with, I'm very like, I'll tell grown ass man this. So I was like, but I'm still trying to say they're not built like us. It's not a bad thing.
No.
They just have a feminine side, and some things that we say hurt their feelings. And I'm trying to be the person who, but see, I think I'm trying to sort of let you do. But
So
I'm
hard.
someone who, so,
Wait,
my blood pressure probably going
wait, so you're
If
trying.
I have something to say, I'm learning to bite my tongue.
Yeah.
See, you don't gotta bite your tongue.
But it's so hard.
I don't
I
bite
have
my
a
tongue.
tendency to be blunt and honest,
Yes.
or shut my mouth and don't say
But
that.
my thing is, I don't bite my tongue, but I think that's the thing that he's missed. I just communicate in a way that.
But you're good at it.
I struggle at it. I can't do that.
You're not gonna raise me up again. You talk about me being a monk. It's like, look, I'm just gonna sit there, like, no matter how. You done? All right, cool. I'm still gonna say it's A plus B equals C. Well, no, I think that A plus B is gonna equal B.
A plus B, C.
A plus B equals C.
So would you overspeak, or would you just say, this is my opinion of it, and this is what I stand on, if we can agree to disagree?
So it depends on what it is, right? Like there are certain
people in that. That's what I mean.
So it depends on what it is. Like, let's say it's a financial thing, right? Okay. And since we bring finances into the fold, right? Hey, you're not making enough money right now, okay? Or usually they won't say that though. Oh, have you thought about doing this, doing that? Yeah, it's in the card. This is the plan, okay? This is where I am right now. This is where we project out being, right? Okay, well, you know, I wanted to do this, or I wanted you to think about doing this. Okay? Taking that into consideration, I respect that opinion, and that can work, but it's going to take this sacrifice. You understand that, right? So you see how it's not like it's like, okay, cool. This I see you raised this point A. Now these are the factors B. This is the outcome we're looking at. Are you good with that? Well, but don't you think that we can fit this in? No, we can't. No, we can't. See, that's not a variable that we factor in. Right, it's stuff like that, right? Not like, oh man, I'm not gonna take that in. Why would you ask me that? Nah, I'm not gonna get emotional about it.
You see, I'm bad with that. I'm the same way. I'm snappy like my dad. It's.
Dumb questions. Like, why would you ask?
Why would you ask
My
me
dad was
that?
like,
Right, and I wouldn't. I think it all goes
Like,
down
know
to
the answer.
it goes down to the prep work. So like the vetting process of getting to know somebody. And this is why like I'd rather be single than to be with the wrong person, right? If I see the red flag, I'm like I've been single too many times. I'm like, okay, ooh, she's materialistic, and she gotta go. But then she doesn't have appreciation and gratitude in her heart, she gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of like the type of person where it's like, I want you to make more money, or I want you to be like keeping me, right? That type of thing.
The thing that irritates me though, sorry, it's just that we're still betting women even when we're in a relationship for like years.
That's true. That is a true thing. And one thing, some people will argue, man, you should just let it go and just let them trust them and, you know, take it on face. I'm like, I'm not wired that way. At the end of the day, it's all business. You gotta always be involved.
he says, all business. Even in a relationship.
Yep. Yep, only a fool plays on love and all that shit.
What's that way, fool?
Hey, actually, no, it's funny.
No, because I know how that sounds. But I still hold true to that statement. The only thing is the way I chose. I love it. Hey, look, I'm here, I'm locked in, and I chose to be with you. Right? I could have been with anybody else, and you could have been with anybody else, but here we are trying to make it work together. That's the true definition of I love you. And because I love you, I'm trying to make a better life for myself. And you making a better life for myself, I'm naturally gonna always try to have your back and look out for it. That's me showing love.
See, now you're gonna go into the aspect of a relationship asking, they're gonna say, yeah, you're basically saying, my job is to make sure you're taken care of, make sure you're small, make sure you have a roof over your head, make sure the kids can eat. To me, that's love.
That's what love is, and that's what I love.
But they're gonna sit here and say, what about can we cuddle? Can you sleep?
You all that.
Sometimes I'm tired. I got to sleep.
But then that goes back to that burden of sometimes our love and our duty is different. It's gonna look different, on different days. Where sometimes they need their love and affection. Especially if you have a woman or a partner that needs physical touch. Like I understand how you do those things. So yes, I understand being able to be in control and being stoic. But today, that's not what wifey needs. Wifey needs. She had a long day. She needs me to her back. She needs me to massage. Okay, fine. I can do all that, right? Or sometimes she just wants me to get in present and to see that I care. I can do that. So while I'm talking about like love is business and relationship it is. At the end of the day, you have to look at where are we at? Where are we trying to go? What do we want our lifestyle to look at? Are we locked in on that? Yes. But with all that, there are also days where you need other things to happen and you have to factor those things in as well. I understand that relationships aren't going to be fluid, they're not going to look the same every single day. But the core values are what the core values are. And as long as I stay maintained on that, whether it's money, whether it's emotions, whether it's romance, you're always going to have a better relationship with me. So whomever I choose to be in a relationship with and marry and have a family with, she don't always know I'm locked in on providing the best lifestyle I can. I'm not always going to get it right and fuck up, but it's all out of love. I may not say it, but you're going to see in my actions.
Would you rather love your girl like a girl?
Trade girl be that.
I'm just saying.
Would you rather love a girl or like a girl?
From my experience, I'd rather like them because,
of course I was going to say that.
Because when I
I
like
think I said the same thing.
I rather like them.
I rather like them.
Love, you take all your logic out and then you lose control. You like them, you always understand.
Because at the same time,
when you like someone, you're gonna put in that effort, like you're still trying to prove something. Like you still gonna have that dog, you still gonna have that hunger, you still gonna have that lust that is healthy and that makes them feminine. Like this motherfucker still trying to prove, he still does the things of like someone who is still trying to keep the relationship fresh. When it's love, it's like that post-nut clarity, dude. Like, and I got it in the bag now. So then people start getting lazy going to that point. It's like.
So what makes you, the only way it doesn't get boring and it doesn't stay a routine is by doing things that's not routine. So if you're every day, Monday through Friday, looks the same, gym looks the same, year 2 is gonna be boring. You gotta do things like, that's why they say do things like role plays, and I'm still not into that. I can't, what's your name? I just met you at the bar, like, oh, nice to meet you.
I can do all that, and you can do all that. You can do all that stuff when you like someone. I'm telling you. But when you love them, it's like, girl, you know I love you. Like, I don't
you break it down like that, but they're gonna say, but okay, so why, what's changed? Like, you're supposed to love me more. So why are you, I'm speaking from, because we come from the aspect of men. So I'm the one with this, because I'm the one like you, Trey. So I'm gonna be the opposite of that. If a woman's here right now on the show, they'll say, well, that's backwards because isn't love supposed to be more than like? So what are we doing differently for you to say? That means you're content with what I'm giving you. So I gotta be a little more harsh on you and not give you something. You have to make both ways.
trying to be slick. I see what they're trying to do. It's like at the end of the day, I'm still present. I'm still here no matter what I like or love. You are trying to be
the percentage that you once was.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, what you're talking about though is trying to go back on your duties. I'm still gonna fulfill my duties. It's just gonna look the same. It's gonna look differently as far as effort, level, and the creativity.
Because
the creativity, the passion, the fire, right? When you like someone, you still feel like you got something to prove. When you love someone, you still there, and you still locked, and you still gonna protect them.
It's gonna be a day by day.
But you talk about, like, I see older couples talk about something like, we don't have sex, we don't make love like the ones they because that fire and the passion is gone. You've been locked in with this person for 30, 40 years, you still love them, so you still gonna ride it out with them until death do you part. But when you are in love with someone, it's like, man, I do all these things. It's almost like a choice, like just cause. From what I've gathered, maybe I'm wrong, and as I get older or as I find the one, it'll change. I'm fully acknowledging this could change, and I can find someone, I can find a woman who I'm like, yo, I'm infatuated with this person. Y'all know I actually love hard. It's just, again, from what I've seen, there's a level of you gotta get past that and you say, hey, look at the end of the day, to be the best partner you can be, you can't get too irrational. That's what I look at.
So is it sustainable to be in because the people get it. Is it sustainable to be in a relationship for 40, 50 years and not be like, not once be like, I can see myself with somebody else?
Is it possible to be in a relationship for 40, 50 years and
I'm playing devil's advocate.
think that you can't be with someone else? Yeah, it can be. Because I think when you know,
That's a very small, it's a
very small minority.
Very small.
I think every person.
Well, I think of
human nature.
Not much I think very good. If I'm with a girl, I'm
Human
like,
nature, there's so much variation in life that people will look around and like probably fantasize like, ooh, this person looks appealing, right? There's a difference between seeing that and thinking that and acting upon it. Now, if your question is thinking about it, no, I don't think so. I think everybody will see somebody and be like, oh, that person looks good, that woman looks good, that woman looks good. But to act on it is very possible, right? Yes, she look good, but what I got at the house, man, I can't replace that. You see what I'm saying? And then, like, that's what I know I will be like, in terms of when I know I'll be in love with someone, it's like, I won't see somebody else. Like, I'm like, a lot of people with the current setting where
you'll see them, but you won't actually go see them.
sure.
That's
Like a lot of people at the current setting we're at, or a lot of places, like a lot of places I go, I'm like, man, the last year I talked to, and I've had this before, and I think that's why I know, I'm like, I see all y'all, but man, what I got at the house, man, y'all can't touch me. So because of that, I'm like, nah, like I'm not finna mess with what I got right now for anything that could possibly. And I think that's where a lot of people get messed up is.
I said the same thing.
It's possible better smash, it's possible better opportunity.
It's the curiosity that a lot of, especially men have a lot of curiosity, like, ooh, like, you forget how bad your girl is if you've been with them for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So it's like,
That's true.
if you see somebody and you're like, oh, I guarantee you will smash that girl, and you'll be like, I was tripping. I promise you. That's why I'm like, it's just
Yes.
I tell everybody the same thing. If they have a thought that they want to do something to harm themselves, and I tell everybody, go to sleep.
So sleep on you feel like.
Bro, I be telling everybody like, look, if y'all that upset or like y'all that mad, take a nap.
Take a nap.
Take a nap, come back.
Go sleep on it. Let's see if you still want to get it. Let's see if you still want to smash
But
it.
see, that's how prideful I am. That's why I didn't tell you I'm going to think about it. Start this week. I'm serious.
Right.
I'm gonna see if I'm tripping. I don't think I'm tripping, but I'm gonna see if I'm tripping because it's just like I'm so paid. I will go to sleep mad. I will wake up and mad. Like I'm still on the same time. I'm so I'm still mad. We have not solved no issue, and I'm just like, okay, let me just try to calm myself down because if you have another person who is hostile and they respect themselves, which is good in a woman. You're gonna be doing that all the time. So I'm learning to
It's hard to lay together that way.
yeah, I'm angry. So it's like I feel like you have to sometimes eliminate yourself and go to sleep or step away and go hang out with the boys and come back.
You sleep on the couch?
For me, no.
Well, I could never.
But like, okay, so say your woman says you pay her bills, she pays the utilities, but you pay for most of the things in there. It's politically correct, they would say if your woman says get out the house, you should be, because it's her house and you bought it for her. If you buy a house and y'all get in a fight, and she says, I want you out now.
The fuck?
Y'all's names is both on the list.
Nah.
No.
She gonna say, I want you. Say you get caught, say you caught you. She says,
Okay.
you're wrong, I don't want you in the house, get out the house. Y'all got kids. What do you say? I'm supposed to say no.
No. No.
Yeah, I'm supposed to say no.
See,
I would pay for your hotel if you feel like you can't.
But she gonna say, you go pay for your hotel.
I'm gonna leave my own house.
now see, here's and here's also another thing as well. My experience with this as well. When I had gotten talking to my ex and said that and everything, I wouldn't be the one trying to go and sleep on the couch and everything. She would try to go over there. And like, she would try to get the separation, but I'm like, no, you're gonna have to just solve this shit. I don't give a fuck. So you're gonna be hostile looking up. I'm gonna be hostile looking up. So look,
Another gets solved.
bring your brother back over. Like, I'll pick her up and like, all right, lay in bed. I'll be there. How mad you are.
I go to the couch before I let my girl.
I seen a TikTok though, and this was like, this is how I'm wired. I'm like, I don't care how mad you is, put your head back on my chest so we can go to sleep.
I
Like,
can't do this.
nah, so you got to because
I'm
again,
such a-
again,
It's hard, but bro,
with
trust
that
me.
tension,
Trust
waking
me.
up with that tension is only gonna build. It's only gonna build
I
something.
live for tension.
That drama.
I like that. Okay, that's why I said, look, I grew up in a household, somebody shut down, we don't talk for 2 weeks.
Yup.
Yeah, I can't do anything.
Yup. I
See, but
swear.
because I've seen that, I know that that's not productive.
It's not productive.
It's not
Nah,
productive.
it's-
So
I swear
my
to
thing is,
God.
I don't like competition. But nobody likes competition. That shit is stressful, man. But at the end of the day, I'm all for it if it has to happen. Like, so I think that's the thing. Like, I've been told, oh man, you passing. No, I'm not passing, bro. But it's like I choose my battles and I'm very diligent on what I give my energy to. There's already enough shit I got to think about. There's already enough I think about. They know how my mindset is. So the last thing I
And
need
if I
to do
was
is
a girl, it's like, man, your whole life stress if you already
yeah,
stressed.
so I'm like, oh, like that's why a lot of like what we talking about right now, I'm like, I would never be with someone who is that level of volatility. I've dealt with it, I've dated it, I've done it, right? So it's like you gotta learn how to communicate, and if she's at that point where she's done pulled the grenade out, and it's like, I'm like, oh, she's exploded, all right, relationship over. Like I rather just go
Okay, how do you handle this? I'm the guy asking questions.
yeah,
So, if you have a girl who
Yeah.
does that with the grenade, she's a firecracker.
Yep.
And you're going by your logic of don't react back. To me, my logic is, oh, you want to play dumb? Let's get it. I'm we can do it. I'm gonna make you, I'm gonna crush you, and then you're gonna say, I'm saying you started, I just picked, you picked on the, you thought you was gonna bully me, I showed you who really was the bully. That's my logic.
Okay.
But I'm trying to go by your logic. If they pull the grenade, they throw it out, they erupt, and you play cool, like keeps, you picking your battles of doing that, like how do you move on from it and be like,
So you gotta know, like for me, you gotta factor in what can be moved on from and what can't be. Like there are certain battles that you already gotta know, like this is a losing battle, like it is done. Like this is like playing chess. It's fucked up to say, it's like playing chess. Like, oh, you're cornered, they checkmated you. Like the second they pull that grenade, that you pull the grenade, you're lost. You're done. So now the disrespect is there, the disrespect ain't coming back. And she knows she can do that, and no matter how you react, like you can react, and that's about keeping your self-respect, right? Like okay, you went there, done, feel better, cool. You overstepped your boundary, and I'm sorry, this is relationship affected, or like.
so you're, okay, but see, what if you have the aspect of you're trying to be that guy who won't let the relationship go away? You wanna make it, you wanna improve your relationship, but you're not gonna react with violence if she reacts with violence, but you wanna find a solution.
What is the volatility? I'm asking you. What
Because
is
you're gonna leave, I know you're leaving.
What is the volatility? What is the volatility looking like? Is she just like what happened? Because I think that plays back. Like if it's she's calling me out and maybe you're a bitch. Oh no, you gotta go, right? But if it's like, oh man, you did this and I can't do
She is
this.
very, like, say a woman is very passionate about what they believe in, and they say, Stern, this is what you need to do next time, this is what you need to do. Since you want to, like, if you say you voiced something that affected you, and then she didn't reassure your feelings, and she came back crunk.
So she reassured my.
So you said, you know what, babe, I don't like how you handled this, and she came back with a response of crunkness, like she just couldn't understand your feelings and shut them down. But you went your route of just not erupting, but you try to find a solution but not say leave.
Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world, but it's like, Okay, if she invalidated, if she invalidated you, feeling like in terms of, I don't hear what you're saying, this is what I think, this is what you have to do.
Yeah, I don't think you're right about what you're saying, like you're just being emotional about it or something, but
Okay, so the way you're communicating, the way you're coming at me, you need some space to think about what you just said and what you think this relationship is going to be. Because what you let come out your mouth says that you don't have any level of respect for this relationship or me. That's what I would say, right? So, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna peace out. We'll reconvene. I'll meet you in bed. That's it. It's real simple. Like, I'm not gonna, man, how you, no. I don't let nobody get in that.
okay, you fast forward.
It's hard.
You come back to the bedroom after y'all went away for some time.
Mm-hmm.
My issue is I'm still mad.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nothing has changed my mind. I just left and went somewhere else, but I still see your face now. You made me mad at me.
Right.
So you come to the bed and can have a conversation. See, I can't.
So I come back to the bedroom first time. You in the mood to communicate?
You come first.
Of course, man, I'm not looking at you. Hey,
I did that a few times as well.
you in the mood to communicate? Yeah. Coming under this energy, can we talk? Are we gonna be able to get past this? It's always a choice. Are we gonna be able to get past this? Yeah. Okay. So, this is what I said earlier. This is what you said earlier. Tell me if I'm right, or tell me if I'm wrong. This is what you want me to get out. Yeah, that's right. Cool. I hear you. And I respect you. And this is what I was trying to get off. Can you respect that? Can you respect me as your partner? Do you have love for me as a partner to respect what I just said? You see, I've never given problem. I'm always saying, even kill it.
It sounds
Right? It sounds great. And again, if she's like, I still feel like, if she's still, okay, I hear you. Try to hash this out. Respectfully, it's not gonna work. And like, hopefully we don't live together. I don't matter if we live together, right? If we get into that state, even if we did, you effectively checkmated me. But that's your partner, right?
But you're in a lease.
Huh?
But you're in a lease with me.
Name on the lease. My name is on the lease, but at no point is anything worth one piece of mind. There's no cost that can be had for one piece of mind.
But you love it.
Sometimes you gotta let it love up, and that's just what it is. Nothing is gonna be worth one piece of mind. And the kids, I'm always gonna be able to love, take care of my kids, but at the end of the day, if he can't work with us, that's just, you gotta know when it's time to peace out. That's the point.
That's the textbook issue, yo.
Straight up.
Like me, go do what I want to go do. Hell, I can't do this.
Bro,
It's not easy, man.
You're gonna fight with any girl you're with. I don't care.
Yeah, you are.
It don't matter who it is. So,
Part of it.
It's like, to be honest, like there's like, okay, there's always gonna be times where you're gonna slip up and you're gonna be high with her. But that's
what you should do, though.
yeah, you should. Because honestly, that builds character. That builds that crazy character.
Your respect for you too.
Yes, it builds that character. Like so at times you have to. Other times
But it's all
you can't.
French, the way I would do it.
That seems good.
You're seen. You're
straight.
not seen out.
But that makes
You're
sense.
crazy.
It's a business.
You're out your mind. Well, I'm like, I can't mistake. I can't mistake. Like,
Always doing that because, see, it goes to, I think everybody in the world is there. Because you still guard yourself. You play chess.
oh yeah, because
You
you
play chess to guard yourself.
you be no second chance type thing at
Yeah,
all.
I'm not gonna let myself even get to that point ever loving you, and then I know you hurt me. Well, one red
It's not
flag.
about being hurt over me, it's about like, hey, this is what I've seen work. You know what I'm saying? This is what I've seen in healthy relationships.
And then she gonna say, why are you comparing others?
It would be foolish of me to not look at it.
She's gonna start comparing then. She's gonna start comparing y'all.
Yeah, so what if she starts saying, well, Joe is getting married, why can't we get married? Or they're doing this, so I got me a BBL.
Well,
She gonna say, well, you compare, why can't I compare?
I'm not comparing, I'm learning, I'm taking wisdom as a difference. I'm not trying to be like
She's
anybody
doing the
else.
same thing.
No, she's not. She's trying to be an image of herself that is flawed.
Yes, I will say that, like, damn, this is good.
Come on, like, see, my thing is I'm always gonna have a purpose of good, we can have some more discord about this, since I see where this is going, we're gonna have another week of this, so. We appreciate everybody for listening, tuning in, tapping in. Let us know if you mess with the new locale. Let us know if y'all want to see us pop out and do some public interviews. But nonetheless, this has been 4Insight. I'm your host, Mike Gobi. Subscribe to YouTube, man, because a lot of y'all watching, not subscribing.
Subscribe and like, bro.
Subscribe, like, share, post it.
Share, subscribe, like.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe. We'll catch y'all next week when we out.
Feet on the ground with a prove you wrong mindset. I'd rather go out on my sword than have my mind tapped. The ones with eyes can never see, I make the blind clap. I'm bringing back that type of sound that wants divine rap. Divine rap, homie, yeah.